What's going on, YouTube? Reidboyy back again with another updated settings video. Black Ops 6's Warzone integration has been out for just a few weeks now, and that's given us plenty of time to fine-tune and figure out all of our settings to be the best console demon that you can be in Call of Duty Black Ops 6's integration of Warzone. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Let's get right into the settings that you can copy and paste to make yourself an absolute super demon on the sticks. Anyways, straight on into our good old-fashioned controller settings. Reidboyy plays on the bumper jumper tactical button layout, even though I do have a beautiful Scuff controller that you can use code REID, R-E-I-D, on at scuff.co/Reidboyy to get of your own. I absolutely love this controller. But if you do not, way back in the old CODs, before Reidboyy used any type of controller with a paddle or buttons on the back, I needed to learn how to jump without taking my thumb off the thumbstick. That is the most important thing in the game, is to never remove your thumb from the aiming thumbstick that you have. Reidboyy learned to play bumper jumper, where I jump with L1. That changes your stun / tactical grenade button to X. And you melee with circle. That way you can crouch, slide, dive with your right thumbstick, just pushing it down. So I can do all of that without ever having to take my thumb off the thumbstick, and I highly, highly recommend it. It is ingrained in my brain now that L1 is the jump button. So any game that I play, even outside of Call of Duty, I need to change my settings to make it so I jump with L1, whereas normal people would jump with the X or A button. But that's what we play on. Again, main key takeaway there is to never take your thumb off the thumbstick. Whether you play claw, fancy controller, default controller, you always want to be able to aim at all times. In Black Ops 6's integration of Warzone, we have upped our sensitivity for the first time in nearly 10 years now. Reidboyy has upped his sensitivity from 7 horizontal, 5 vertical to 8 horizontal, 6 vertical. With the increased movement speed, the dolphin dive, and the sliding left, right, up, down, all the different movements, I want to be able to track a little bit better, closer ranges, to be able to react a little faster, to be able to spin and do 360s a little bit faster. So we are now on a slightly higher sensitivity. Again, anywhere from the 5 at the bare minimum to 10 at the absolute maximum is where I would go if you want to be as good as you could possibly be at the game. If you want to be a movement god and do 360s left and right and spin really fast and look left and right really fast, you can up your sense higher, but that is going to be detrimental to your overall skill level at the game. Again, 10 is the highest that I would go sensitivity-wise. Other settings, Reidboyy plays with vibration on. 99% of people anywhere ever are going to tell you to turn your vibration off. One of the few people anywhere that does it. If the controller doesn't be twerking while I'm shooting, Reidboyy can't shoot straight. I've actually had to send back controllers when the vibration doesn't work to get repaired. So yeah, I need the vibration. It's insane how bad I am at shooting straight when my controller is not shaking. But most people anywhere are going to tell you to turn that off. So if you are curious as to what to do, just go ahead and turn it straight off. The dead zone inputs. Reidboyy's got some new updated dead zones for this game, for this integration here. My left stick minimum is set to 3. My left stick maximum is set to 90. My right stick minimum is set to 0. My right stick maximum is set to 99. And if you look at the dead zone test, this is what it looks like. Now, as you can see, it says I have just a super duper minor bit of stick drift. I do not care about that. That does not matter. Never in any situation ever is your character slightly turning on his own ever going to affect you in the middle of a gunfight. So it is not something I care about. I just want my controller to be as responsive and reactive as possible to any time that I press anything. So I've got my dead zone set all the way to 0, and it does not bother me. If your controller gets to the point where it is just jerking on its own, or you're doing 360s every time you set your controller down and don't touch it, that might be time for a new controller. I wouldn't even up your dead zone. Your controller is going to be beyond saving at that point. Just get a new controller. Again, I got my dead zone as low as I can handle it, which is 0 at this point. We've gone from 3 at the minimum to down to 0 in the last few weeks. And I like the way this feels. I got used to it real quick, and it feels good and crispy, and I can shoot straight laser beams. So we've got that. That is it for the controller settings. Onto the aiming settings. We've got all these set to default. We get into the more specific aiming settings in a second here. The advanced settings, these are all standard. I swapped this from gradual to instant, the ADS sensitivity transition timing, and we play on the linear response curve. These are all personal preference. I recommend you try these out for yourselves, shoot some dummies in the firing range, go load into a Nuketown private match, and shoot some bots and figure out what you like. and what is the best for you. There is no absolute better than the rest setting for this one. It is all personal preference. Some people like dynamic, some people like linear, very few people like standard. A lot more people are recently trying dynamic for the first time because they're getting a mind of their own and they're trying their own settings, and they're liking linear way more than dynamic. Again, personal preference, try that out. With linear, the slope scale does not matter. Slope scale does not matter at all. The curve of a linear line, there is no curve, so you're not scaling it. That does matter if you play on standard or dynamic, but I do not play on those, so I don't mess with that too much. The custom sensitivity per zoom, on the lower zooms, the low all the way to 3x, we are at 0.8. The higher zooms, we are on the 0.9. That's going to make your aim more fine-tuned and easily adjusted when you're aiming down sights, when you want to be more fine-tuned with it. That's it for the aiming settings. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm lying. Aim assist, obviously, we've got aim assist turned off. Only stinky, smelly cheaters use aim assist. It's basically aimbot. So if your favorite streamer needs aim assist to be good at the game, you know that they just can't play the game without their stinky, smelly cheater cheats. So yeah, again, only good players turn aim assist straight off right away. Nobody who's good actually uses aim assist. Except for in zombies. Zombies is different. This basically just gives you aimbot to the AIs, which doesn't matter. A zombie aim assist is okay. Real people aim assist, not okay. Motion sensor behavior, we got that turned off. Movement, onto the good stuff, the good fun settings. This is where we get involved with the omni movement, with the sprinting sideways and sprinting backwards. If you want to be the absolute best movement god, super mega demon that you can be, tactical sprint assist is your best friend. It allows you to not have to click your thumbstick at all to be able to sprint. When you sprint forward, you go into full speed, max speed right away. When you sprint sideways, you're going to go max speed as fast as possible with the delay set to 0. That way it happens instantaneously. This is going to take some getting used to if you're not used to it. It does take a minute because you can't bot walk. You only have go or don't go. There's no in between. It kind of cuts out the middleman to enable you to be faster with a lot of things. So some things like, strafing slowly on a ledge or trying to fall into a ladder hole or something like that, those are a little bit more difficult. Using shotguns or akimbo pistols are an absolute nightmare. Hip firing with semi-auto in general is a nightmare with this, but overall it is worth it when using, just a regular gun. It is worth it to be the best movement god YY TikTok demon that you could possibly be. So I strongly recommend that. Mantle assist, you want that turned straight off. That is really annoying. You never want to accidentally mantle in the middle of a gunfight. That will get you killed more than it will save your life, so it is not worth it. Crouch assist as well, we've got that turned off. The corner slicing does not affect your aim, as you can see right there in big bold letters. Does not affect your aim, so I've got it turned on. I kind of like the way it looks when my dude leans sideways with his gun. You can turn that off. That some people don't like that. Some people don't care. I'm one of the people that don't care. I kind of like the way it looks. Your slide dive behavior. You got some options on this one. You want to be the absolute, maximum utilization, best you can be. Hybrid is your best friend. It does take some getting used to. There is plenty of room for error with this setting. You tap to slide and you tap while holding the sprint option, which is where tac sprint assist comes in because you're never going to be clicking the sprint accidentally. Tap to slide and tap while holding sprint to dive. This does allow you to do some crazy stuff with the movement. You can dive, you can slide. With this game, compared to the last game, you can shoot while diving, so it becomes a lot more beneficial and a lot more useful to be able to dive. And it's also less detrimental when you dive on accident. So I definitely took my time to get used to hybrid, and I think it is absolutely worth it. If you don't want to, if you don't ever want to dive, slide only. You do not want to play on one of these tap settings. These are not really ideal. Slide only is absolutely beautiful if you just want to slide and maximize your speed at which you can do it. Reduces any delay possible if you don't want to dolphin dive ever. I would not play on dive only because sliding is hands down more useful than dolphin diving, especially being able to slide / dive in all directions. So I would definitely get used to hybrid if you can. If you don't want to, slide only is also an option. Your sprint restore and slide maintain sprint. These are two settings that in Black Ops 6. These are two settings that in Black Ops 6 at the start of the game, I wasn't too sure. You want these on. I played for a decent amount of time with these off because I thought they bugged out your game. I was wrong. They are absolutely the vibes. This is going to make your movement feel buttery smooth and like you are gliding on ice. You absolutely want to have both of these settings set to off. Your parachute automatic behavior, you want that set to off as well. Sorry, I just misworded. You want these set to on. Your parachute automatic behavior, you want that set to off. This is going to allow you to get to the ground significantly faster than any opponents that have the automatic deploy on. With it on, you pull your parachute 30 feet in the sky. With this off, it allows you to get to the ground fast than your opponent. Grab a gun, turn around, shoot them, land, pull out your pistol, turn around, shoot them. It makes you so that way you get to the ground way faster. You will break your ankles sometimes. It's going to happen. It happens to the best of us. It happens to all of us. But it is worth it for the amount of times that you're going to get to the ground faster than somebody and be able to shoot them while they're still pulling their parachute 20 feet in the sky. Mantle cancels reload. I've got this set to off. Absolutely don't want to be mantling while reloading in it to cancel it. Into the advanced settings, I've got the sprint/tactical sprint behavior set to toggle. Auto move forward off. Auto door peek off. Single tap run. This is an absolute blessing, especially if you don't play on the tactical sprint assist. This allows it so you don't have to double click your thumbstick to hit max speed. You can just click it once. It turns your sprint into a tactical sprint. Absolutely the vibes if you do not like the tactical sprint assist. Plunging underwater free. That doesn't matter. Vehicle advanced settings, none of these are very important. These are not important at all. On to the combat settings now. I'm going to go through these real quick. Aimed on sight behavior, hold. Tactical stance behavior, toggle. Back stance activation, ADS and down. The weapon mount activation, so you never want to mount on accident. You only want to mount on purpose. But you do want to mount. Mounting does get rid of recoil on your gun, and it makes it very easy to be an absolute laser beam. So you don't want it to be off. You do double tap ADS sometimes, and you don't want to, again, accidentally mount. So you don't want to use that one. You don't ever want to just mount anytime you ADS near a wall. That will absolutely get you killed. I see some Billy Bobs with this setting turned on, and they're just always a free kill. So ADS plus melee is hands down the default option. You're never going to ADS and melee accidentally. Your dedicated melee weapon activation. We've got that set to hold. We do not want to be running around trying to YY and accidentally ending up with our baseball bat out. I don't think that's ever really worth it. We've got that set to hold melee. Armor plate behavior, apply all. That way you don't have to put in one plate, zip up your thing, unzip it, put in another, zip it back up. You don't want to do that. You want to just put in all your plates at once. Make sure you have that setting turned on. Anything else here? Manual fire behavior. I see a lot of people turn this to hold because it allows you to essentially shoot your semi-auto guns at full auto. A lot of people think it's better. It is not. It lowers the speed at which you can fire. As long as you have a relatively fast trigger finger, hold is a detrimental setting to have on. If you feel like you drop in with your spawn pistol and it just shoots way slower than you see your favorite streamer shoot, that might be because this setting is turned on. It limits the fire rate significantly, so you definitely want this on press. Combat advanced settings. Right here, some good stuff here. So this is something, if you are a stinky, smelly cheater boy and you do use aim assist, and you do like to cheat when you play your favorite Call of Duty Warzone game, weapon mount exit is a setting that you want to turn off. What this is going to allow you to do is when you mount up on a wall, when you are mounted up, you can move your left thumbstick in any direction to take advantage of that rotational aim assist that all the mouse and crybabies whine and bitch about. And you get to have that extra aimbot assist on to help you laser people even better. So we've got that turned off. That way, whenever I'm mounted up on a wall, I can move and get the movement aim assist without actually moving. Prioritize interact in the interact reload behavior will allow you to literally grab things off the ground faster. You definitely want to get used to this if you can. Sprint cancels reload. I've got that set to off. I do not. If I want to reload and sprint at the same time, I want to be able to do that. I don't want it to cancel the reload. Akimbo behavior, being able to shoot both your akimbo guns with one button is way easier. So I've got that set to on. Some people don't like that. You can do independent where you just press two different buttons, one to shoot each gun. I've got that set to paired. Anything else here useful? Nothing really. Overlay advanced settings. None of these are that important. That is it for all of the controller settings. I know that was a long one. That was a while. That was what, 15 minutes worth of yapping right there. My timer better have gone off. If it didn't, bro. Back stance activation, ADS and down. The weapon mount activation. So you never want to mount on accident. You only want to mount on purpose. But you do want to mount. Mounting does get rid of recoil on your gun, and it makes it very easy to be an absolute laser beam. So you don't want it to be off. You do double tap ADS sometimes, and you don't want to, again, accidentally mount. So you don't want to use that one. You don't ever want to just mount anytime you ADS near a wall. That will absolutely get you killed. I see some Billy Bobs with this setting turned on, and they're just always a free kill. So ADS plus melee is hands down the default option. You're never going to ADS and melee accidentally. Your dedicated melee weapon activation. We've got that set to hold. We do not want to be running around trying to YY and accidentally ending up with our baseball bat out. I don't think that's ever really worth it. We've got that set to hold melee. Armor plate behavior, apply all. That way you don't have to put in one plate, zip up your thing, unzip it, put in another, zip it back up. You don't want to do that. You want to just put in all your plates at once. Make sure you have that setting turned on. Anything else here? Manual fire behavior. I see a lot of people turn this to hold because it allows you to essentially shoot your semi-auto guns at full auto. A lot of people think it's better. It is not. It lowers the speed at which you can fire. As long as you have a relatively fast trigger finger, hold is a detrimental setting to have on. If you feel like you drop in with your spawn pistol and it just shoots way slower than you see your favorite streamer shoot, that might be because this setting is turned on. It limits the fire rate significantly, so you definitely want this on press. Combat advanced settings. Right here, some good stuff here. So this is something, if you are a stinky, smelly cheater boy and you do use aim assist, and you do like to cheat when you play your favorite Call of Duty Warzone game, weapon mount exit is a setting that you want to turn off. What this is going to allow you to do is when you mount up on a wall, when you are mounted up, you can move your left thumbstick in any direction to take advantage of that rotational aim assist that all the mouse and crybabies whine and bitch about. And you get to have that extra aimbot assist on to help you laser people even better. So we've got that turned off. That way, whenever I'm mounted up on a wall, I can move and get the movement aim assist without actually moving. Prioritize interact in the interact reload behavior will allow you to literally grab things off the ground faster. You definitely want to get used to this if you can. Sprint cancels reload. I've got that set to off. I do not. If I want to reload and sprint at the same time, I want to be able to do that. I don't want it to cancel a reload. Akimbo behavior, being able to shoot both your akimbo guns with one button is way easier. So I've got that set to on. Some people don't like that. You can do independent where you just press two different buttons, one to shoot each gun. I've got that set to paired. Anything else here useful? Nothing really. Overlay advanced settings. None of these are that important. That is it for all of the controller settings. I know that was a long one. That was a while. That was what, 15 minutes worth of yapping right there. My timer better have gone off. If it didn't, bruh. I'm gonna lose my mind if my timer just didn't go off. Yeah, that's all right. That's what I fucking thought, buddy. That's what I fucking thought. Whew. Brother, what do you mean you had to watch someone else's? My settings are way better. I was gonna include that, twin. I was gonna include that part. Should I? Okay, we're in the little breather section now. I gotta take a quick breather. Yeah, I was gonna include that, but I don't know if that's necessary in a settings video. How do you break cameras? Realistically, all you gotta do is when running around a corner, when you're around a corner, say there's a corner right here, right? See this properly? Am I like lined up properly? There's a corner right here, okay? Corner. And when you're both running at each other at the same time, you're turning the direction of the corner. Like, gotta be a better way to explain this. The corner. Okay? The corner right here, yeah? Corner right here. You are both running this way. You're both gonna turn the direction of the corner to look at where the other person is. If you can slide around, if you can slide way past them at the timing that they turn that corner and they're looking what's essentially going to be the wrong way, that's what breaking their camera is. They turn in that corner and they're looking left, and you slide past them to where they have to completely 180 or dive or whatever it is. You do some type of movement rather than just both of you colliding and headbutting into that corner. If you slide all the way past them and make them need to look right when they're already in the process of looking left to turn the corner, that's breaking their camera. It's a timing thing. Has a lot to do with footstep audio / knowing the timing and stuff. When you hear somebody shoot you and he's over here and you just make it around the corner, based off of how far away their shots sound and where their dot is on the minimap, and like you can hear their footsteps approaching, you want to time it properly to where you slide around them right as they're turning the corner. There's a decent amount that goes into that. That takes a little bit of experience to figure things out. Give me a breather for a second here, boys and girls. These fucking cats are way too hungry. The whole video that I'm sitting there recording, I can just feel whiskers at my fingers. They just refuse to leave me alone. So, give me one quick second. I shall be right back. Food. Right. Right, all right. Oh god, I forgot I was wearing this. I was wearing this one of my corny fucking edgy shirts. You ain't me. Alright. Let's finish the rest of this video before I forget. Booey, baba booey. Wait, actually, there's nothing else I need to go through, right? Yeah, I won't even. Graphic. Oh, you know what I need, bro? You know what I need for this? There we go. That's what's missing. Okay. Start the timer again. Cool. Part two. All right, that did it for controller settings. Now on to our graphics settings. We are on the 120 hertz refresh rate. If you can do that, you absolutely want to. I don't notice the difference between 60 hertz and 120 hertz. I could play with this off or on and be just the exact same skill level. It doesn't make a difference to me, but if you got the capability, you might as well take advantage of it. Gamma brightness, that is more specific to your monitor. That goes in combination with your monitor settings. I'm at 51. Eco mode, I've got that turned off. I have no need for that. Quality, you want all of these blurry, anything that's going to blur your game, you want that turned off. The fidelity FX, I was told to turn it on. I've turned this off and on and noticed absolutely zero difference with it at all. I don't really, I was told to put it to somewhere near 80, but it's not too specific what you move it to. So obviously we went with the beautifulest number of them all, 69. Somewhere, you know, near 80, 70, 90, somewhere in that window is perfect. The on-demand texture streaming, we've got that set to optimize. I don't notice any difference with this setting either. I don't really care about that kind of thing. Field of view, we tried 120 for multiplayer, and it was dare I say, it was kind of fun running around and just spinning and looking like a YY TikTok crackhead 12-year-old. But it was definitely detrimental. I noticed the decrease in skill potential by doing that. So when Warzone came out, we dropped it right back down to 110, where we are noticeably better at the game. Anywhere from 100 to 110 is right around where I'd be. 115 at the max if you absolutely want to push it. But yeah, 100 to 110 is your sweet spot where you're gonna be maximizing your skill level with also the information you're gonna get on your screen. ADS field of view affected, weapon field of view wide, third person field of view, you want that all the way up to the maximum, vehicle field of view, you want that wide. These are important. You want these set to least. Your camera movements, set these down to the bare minimum. And then my personal favorite setting in the entire game, the inverted flashbang effect. Rather than your screen going bright white like the sun is in your living room, we have switched it to pitch black, which does take some getting used to. It's going to seem like your game crashes every time you get flashbang for the first couple times you get hit with it, but it definitely saves your retinas, and it is not worth getting flashbanged into eye surgery at the age of 25. So inverted flashbang, turn that on, trust. And we've got our audio settings. Audio's a mess in this game. There's so ridiculously many options. Some of them are just as good as others. Some of them are not. I still haven't quite figured out what is exactly the absolute best. what I'm trying right now that is at the very least good enough, absolutely good enough. We have enhanced headphone mode on with no type of configuration. This is just the basic free version. The headphone bass boost with some configure frequency. I actually turned that off. Never mind. We've turned that off. So enhanced audio mode on, headphone bass boost as the audio settings. That is at the very least good enough. You should be able to hear footsteps pretty consistently. I have, again, the Astro A40 headset with the oldest Gen 1 mix amp that I feel like I can hear everything picture perfectly, crystal clear. There might be some better options that are only going to be slightly better. There might be some options that are going to be slightly worse. This is what I'm rocking right now at the moment that this video is being recorded. The hit marker preset, we got that at classic. Anything else here? Nothing really. Voice chat volume, we don't want that too loud since proc chat is currently, at the time of recording this video, a little broken and busted, where you can hear everybody in the lobby randomly. You can hear people across the map for no reason that aren't anywhere near you. So we got that turned down a decent amount. That was on. I don't know why that got turned off. Anything else here? My in-game mic with its absolutely picture perfect, beautiful settings. This, what you guys are hearing right now, is not what the people in game chat are hearing. Nobody hears this. When I talk trash to somebody in game, this is what they're hearing. And it's even better if I turn it all the way up. They can hear my PC from across my desk. I don't even hear it. I can't even hear it, but it's this loud for them, and this is the audio quality that everybody in game chat hears. Beautiful. Tons of fun. That's my game chat mic. Those are purposely the worst settings I could possibly have that set to. Onto the interface settings that aren't very important. Anything here? We've got our little bit of info. The server latency is the most important one here. Packet loss as well. That pops up in the top left of the screen to show you some info on the server that you're in and if you're lagging or if you're on really high ping. We've got our subtitles set to on because I was told by a couple viewers that it helps them when they are struggling to hear things. It helps them out. Some people like that, and nobody really complains about it. So that's all. I didn't even notice the subtitles are there. Those are not for me at all. Those are just more for the viewer experience. Color customization. Now, here's a good one. Here's a good one. You can tweak all of this to your liking. I don't really have too much going on here besides the color filter set to filter 2 and the color filter target set to both world and interface, and the intensity set to 80. This is going to give your game just that little bit of extra pop that makes it nice. A lot of people say my gameplay looks amazing for being on PS5, and that is part of what helps it out. The gameplay hub, make sure your minimap is set to a square. That'll give you just a little bit extra size on the minimap, which definitely helps out. Safe area specific to your monitor. Anything else here that's important? Not really, nothing really crazy. Your crosshairs, you definitely want your crosshairs on. And you can also, for those of you that did not know, you can change the color of your crosshair. That's how mine is green. You can change it to whatever color your heart can desire. But you definitely want that on, as well as a center dot to know where the center of your screen is to help with your centering. That is beneficial to have. Hit markers on, damage-based hit markers on. We've got all these set to 100. They don't really bother me too much. And that will conclude Reidboyy on Twitch's December 2024 settings video for the Warzone Black Ops 6 upgraded integration stuff. I feel like I forgot to show this. I feel like I forgot to click this button, so we're just going to show this again. I've got the gameplay music turned up to 100 just for the sake of this video. Normally, you want to turn that down to 0 so it does not block the sound of footsteps. Yeah, that is going to do it for Reidboyy's settings video. If you guys want me to try something, if there's some settings that I've got different than you, let me know. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Otherwise, don't forget to like the video. That helps out a ton. And subscribe if you're new and you want some more of the greatest Warzone content you could possibly find anywhere on YouTube. Right here at Reidboyy on YouTube. Other than that, y'all have yourselves a blessed day.